So you're in escrow to purchase a home. Congratulations. Or you're refinancing a home and you're looking forward to getting the cash out to take care of a few things, maybe lower your interest rate. There's probably a few questions that you have. What's next for you? What should you do? And what shouldn't you do? Well, we'll cover all these questions and more in today's Lessons in Lending. Let's dive right in. Several months ago, we had a client purchasing a home. They were through the whole underwriting process. Their loan was approved. They were excited to move in and they were getting prepared to come in to sign the loan documents. They'd been communicated with. They were told they were approved and everything was set to go. However, the underwriter gave us a call. And as we were getting ready to prepare the closing documents, and they asked if we knew anything about credit inquiry regarding a car loan. And so I said, well, I don't think there's any car loan. There's no car, there's no purchases going on. I said, but I'll call the buyer. So I called the buyer of the home and I said, are you at a car dealership right now by chance? And they said, yeah, we are. We're purchasing a car right now. And I said, not today. You're going to have to push back from that table and reconsider, because if you buy that car, you will not qualify for your home loan and you will not be closing here in the next 2 days. And so they said, well, get this special deal. And they said, we're ready to go right now. We got the paperwork all in front of us. We're ready to get the keys. And I said, not today. You can do it in a few days, but not today. What that would have done is would have blown their debt to income ratio. So things like that, large purchases, purchasing furniture, purchasing appliances for your new home, that type of thing. There is a soft credit pull that the underwriter will do right up until the time of closing. And if there's any inquiry, that inquiry has to be explained and no new debt can show up on your credit report. It does happen. Even though we tell people not to do it, they think, oh, it's only a day before the closing. Right up until the day it closes, it's something you want to put off. You can do a buy now, pay later, something like that, where you can set something aside, but they can't show as an inquiry on your credit report. So do not give your social security number to anyone. That's the indicator that they're going to pull your credit. So do not do that, because your debt ratio will be an issue, or it can be an issue. Ask your loan officer if there's something you absolutely need to purchase. You can contact them. Another thing, don't change jobs. I mean, it sounds like an obvious thing, but a lot of times there's a 2-year history that's required. And so we want to make sure that any job change, you're going into the same line of credit, the income still qualifies. And if you have overtime, that would be something that needs to be verified. And a lot of times new employers will not want to do that. So it's something you want to make sure your loan officer knows. If there's a planned job change, we can have a loan approved with a job change or a new job with an offer letter, but it has to be rock solid. And your underwriter will let us know what we need to cover the requirements, and your loan officer will explain that to you. Maybe it goes without saying as far as getting new debt, but don't co-sign for anyone else's debt either. We've had situations where someone wanted to co-sign for their child that was going to school and needed a car, that type of thing. If you co-sign for a car loan or any other loan, that goes on your credit report and it is included in your debt ratio. There are some strategies after 12 months that there's a possibility in having that removed. Contact your loan officer about that. But if you co-sign, you are legally obligated on that debt and it will be included in your debt to income ratio. So those are the don'ts. The things you do want to do is you want to notify your loan officer if you have a change of address, if you've had a change in pay. Those types of changes have to be communicated quickly, because the underwriter will find out those things. And if those things are detrimental to your loan, there's things we want to do to mitigate that risk or that change. And so we want to know about those things. I'm like the doctor. I tell my borrowers, tell me everything, because we'll be able to work through those things typically, but it's not something the underwriter wants to tell the loan officer. It's something we want to make sure that we move through it in a way that it will not be detrimental to you and your purchase. Another thing you want to do is you want to notify us of any transfers or large deposits and to track those with full documentation. The last 2 months, the underwriter is going to consider those 2 months as a seasoning period where the funds that you purchase the property with, the down payment and closing costs, have to be seasoned and tracked. And so what the underwriter is looking for, just so you know, They're looking for potentially borrowed funds that need to be paid back to purchase a home. Those funds for closing have to be in your account for 60 days. That's called the seasoning, and it needs to be sourced as well. So any large deposits need to be sourced in that time frame as well. If you sold a car and there's a reason for a large deposit, that's perfectly fine. But any large deposits, we're going to need to source where those came from. So we'll be asking for complete documentation on that. Another thing you want to do is you want to get homeowners insurance, and we need to have the insurance match the loan amount that you're borrowing to purchase the home or the replacement value of that home. So those are the two requirements. Be sure to get that information to us, and we'll have that placed into the debt ratio so we can calculate it and make sure that we're in good shape. Another item we'll need are your bank statements and pay stubs. As you receive them, if you could please forward them to your loan officer, that will help them keep the file updated and on track to close. I hope you found this information helpful. I'm sure your loan officer will appreciate it if you abide by these rules. And again, if you learned something today, drop a like below. Ring that notification bell for our most recent videos. And you can click here for this week's most recent market minute and here for last week's lessons in lending. My name is Brent Starts, the Unitas Lending, and we'll see you in the next video.